I've been a resident of Boise, Idaho for over 800 years. I just don't get why this always happens to me every single time.
Oh, come on, guys. You get it. You get it, right?
Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast, where we're here for another bright, sunny week, having a grand old time here in Boise, Idaho at the Rag Company Media HQ. I'm Dane Hennon. To my right, that's Levi Gates, and to my left, that's Anthony Fisher.
Hey, Dane, thanks for having me.
All right, housekeeping. Who wants to take it this morning?
I think I can jump in
All
on something
right.
like this. So we're off to a good start of the week here in Boise, Idaho. Weather's feeling pretty good. Yesterday was a bit of a hot one.
It was hot.
Getting up to about 90 to 91 degrees Fahrenheit, but it felt hotter than that.
It did. The Suburban was reading 95 on my drive home.
It was a toasty one. Yeah. So weather, though, is looking up on our end of things. And for the rest of the week, we're going to be dipping down into the high 80s, right? Maybe
Bring me the
mid-80s.
fall weather, please.
It's not coming. It's going to stay warm.
But I think Dane
we got
is...
another warm weekend.
Dane is definitely craving that cool weather.
It's my favorite
Dixon
time
and
of
flannels.
See,
Looking
I'm wearing
for
a Dixon flannel.
a warm,
jump the
cool
gun.
out there.
warm cup of coffee, junkyard walks, and fall leaves. Right?
It's literally every morning he walks out on his deck and he takes a couple sips of his coffee and goes, "It's coming."
It's coming.
He can feel it.
I
Yeah.
can feel it in my bones.
The briskness.
Yeah.
So weather's looking good. With that said, though, as far as filming goes here at the Rag Company, we still have a warehouse full of boxes and pallets that will hopefully be moved out soon.
They're pretty much done over at the new warehouse with the racking.
impressive.
It looks so cool and so good. And now, hopefully today, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
they start running those forklift trucks and empty our building. But our building's going to be the last to be emptied.
Yeah.
And so they got to empty all the other warehouses.
Let's not get our hopes up.
That's what'll happen.
We'll see.
We won't get it back until next week.
We do have plenty of new products that we need to test, so hopefully we can get our studio back in one piece. But we did have our video that released this last weekend here.
Yeah.
Dane, you want to touch up on that?
Yeah, no, we've had a couple videos recently that people have seemed to really enjoy. And we also turned it into kind of a thing where I hope you guys have been liking this, where at the end of Q&A Thursday, that's where we drop the new video. We were realizing the weekends were, the viewership was all right, but I felt like we were missing a lot of people because we were catching it right at the end of the weekend instead of the earlier part leading into it. And, the Thursday releases really do seem to be clicking with people. And it's fun because then as soon as you finish Q&A, you're already there in most cases. You're watching it live, so why not pop on over to the other channel and just watch it because you're already here. And if you can't finish it, great. You can watch it later. It's a video. You can watch it anytime. But we're giving you that option right off the bat instead of having to wait for the weekend. So it makes it fun. I think people have really enjoyed that. But yeah, between, the Stjarnagloss stuff and the bug removal stuff, what were some of the experiences behind the scenes there working on those cars?
They're dirty.
We're hammered,
They're
man.
very dirty.
For all the comments who say we work on clean cars, it's like, hold on.
No, those were two of the dirtiest cars we've washed in a while, and two of the dirtiest cars that we've been that we've had the pleasure of detailing.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
fair.
Man, they were rough. Honestly, the bugs were one thing, but it was just. Yeah, they those vehicles, they actually have a lot more footage of those vehicles that you'll see eventually, but there was just a lot of work we put into those just to get them cleaned up, and we hope they stay that way. That's all we'll say. So outside of that, though, this week we have obviously we have our Q&A Thursday planned. We've been filming a lot of Q&As, or not Q&As, a lot of FAQs, right? Levi specifically on some upcoming products, because here within the next couple of months we're going to have several new product releases that I think people are going to be shocked by, surprised by, but also excited. They're going to love it, right?
It'll be a pleasant surprise.
It's going to dip in your hand into one of these products.
Oof.
I don't know which one.
I'm excited.
It's going to be pretty nuts. It's going to be pretty fun.
It'll be good.
And then obviously SEMA coming up here. We're excited to see what other new products our brand partners have created. There is one of our brands, right? I actually probably can just say KCX is sending out some testers for us.
Yeah, we're very excited for that.
Some tester. I won't say what they are, but they are tester products.
Okay.
Something new, something old, something new, something somewhat used, and something blue.
Yeah, so
Right.
I actually used one of those products. It's probably the first tester we got.
Mm-hmm.
I took it home last night, and I used it on a Diamond Body 36 coated vehicle
Yeah.
as a kind of a refresh
Mm-hmm.
wash. And holy cow,
Yeah.
worked amazing
Yeah.
on the surface of that Diamond Body. I was very excited to see it, and cleaned it really well. So
Good.
really nice. So now this week I'm going to try and get into it a little more, see how the paint
Yeah.
looked, because I did use the body brush on it.
Yeah.
I didn't use a mitt. I just scrubbed it with the body brush. But
I want to throw
pretty good.
Alex's comment on the screen here because he knows I'm always paranoid about that. Yeah. Shout out me for not spilling new products no matter how hard he tries to pull them
Yeah.
out of me. And not even Batman could get that information
that's
out of
right.
It's true. But
yeah, we're excited
Dane
to
doesn't want to
see.
lose his job here.
No.
I mean, he definitely needs to work here. So,
Imagine having to
considering,
go back to Home Depot
considering he's the prince. So,
Anything
or
could happen.
Panera Bread.
but new products are going to be being released by not only some of our brand partners but also
Yeah.
us, and so we're really looking forward to that. Now, next thing to note, right?
Yeah.
The Grand Ambassador Showdown. I got to give you guys an
You're
update
gonna
on
get
this,
it.
right?
It's gonna be good.
So we're officially 1 week, technically about a week into this showdown since it started, and I gotta say that these 6 individuals, oh my gosh, they're killing it. I know I said that last week, but I
Yeah.
gotta say it again because they're pumping out some amazing real content and they're staying consistent. But I had to give them a little bit of insight in our little chat group that
Yeah.
we have. I said, hey. This isn't a sprint. This is a long race, right? This is an oval race.
Yeah.
160 laps.
Right.
I don't know actually how many days is it. 120 laps for
Till when?
That's
There you go.
till December.
Yeah.
About
Oh,
120
okay.
laps
Yeah.
you got to make, right? So it's not a
I
sprint.
thought I was getting confused.
You're gonna have some really good laps, and then you
Right.
might have a couple laps.
It's gonna be
where
like
you-
Le
where you-
Mans.
where you got to pace it
Yeah.
correctly, right? And so I just don't want people to
Keep
get
that
burned
party
out,
going.
and so
Yeah.
that's just a quick little reminder. But no, I mean Darren, Heather, Vermeil,
They're all pulling
Matt
their
at
weight.
Dabbler. We've got
Darren,
Darren.
I mean, it's awesome.
Matt, a dabbler.
No.
Hold on.
Hunter.
Do I have to
Hunter.
say Jamie again?
Hunter's the other
like
one.
I did
Jamie-
last
Jamie-
week? I said
Raiden.
Jamie,
Jamie
last
the-
week.
Jamie
and
the
you're
cleaner?
doing it again.
Gosh, no,
it's
no.
starting to feel
no.
deliberate.
It's weird.
No, I
It's
know. I'm
weird how
not
that
trying to
happens.
do that. But no, they're all just killing it. I mean, God, dude, like I think Vermeil's killing it because he's got his store over there. And so he has a web store, right? So just in full transparency, while he is a Grand Ambassador, and he actually started as a Grand Ambassador, I think before he even ever sold a product, right?
Yeah.
That was always kind of his roots there, right? And so eventually he opened up his web store with the help of his dad, who's also one of the nicest people ever.
Very nice man.
And we met them when we were in the Netherlands. And so, I mean, Ramil has been very successful with his business. I mean, like he's done really, really well between the YouTube channel and also being able to sell. And so he gets most of his products, TRC products, from TRC Europe and distributes that way. So, but he's killing it. I mean, for a guy that has a business and things like that and other things he needs to do on top of other media content, I was just really happy that, he's still a part of the showdown because, I mean, that means a lot.
And this is
especially
an
with
international showdown.
It is,
Right.
absolutely, because we have Heather, right? Heather is amazing. I mean, she started out, really, it was more YouTube content and Instagram, but even when we stumbled across her, she had a decent Instagram following, but it wasn't like massive, but her YouTube channel has just blown up so much.
That's
and she does a lot of the ASMR style washes, but she also has a really soothing voice in her other YouTube videos where she'll kind of guide you along with her wash process, and she knows her stuff. I mean, when we met her at Waxstock this year, it was our first time meeting her, and she's on top of it. She knew exactly which towels she loved, exactly which products she loved, and she's a big MX-5 Mazda Miata enthusiast. And so
Should have been called the Miazda.
She loves her Miata, but she does detailing. That's pretty much her job full time. That and and obviously content creation. And then Darren, right? God bless Darren. He is, he's such a fun guy, such a nice guy, so wholesome, and he's been pumping out the funny content. And what I like about him is that he's going to throw the oddball stuff out that we're not going to see from the other Grandmasters, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the oddball stuff, seeing how he incorporates it. And if you haven't seen this video where he's doing like his training for like the showdown, holy crap, it's so funny, dude. That's
great.
It's hilarious. And then we have Matt over at Dabbler, right?
Yeah.
Arguably, probably our most creative Grandmaster in the Grandmaster Showdown.
Skills.
He's got a lot of skills, a lot of design skills. He also has generally just a very creative mind on pretty much every other front. And I think that if you haven't checked out his page, he did something really fun. He took a screen grab from Seinfeld, right? And then like superimposed, or however you want to say it, like detailing products into the Seinfeld picture and like graded them to look old as well.
Wow.
So it's like
it's like
there's 5 detailing products in this photo. Find these 5 products.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's just a ton of fun. And then we have the Bearded Hunter, right? Fantastic photographer, fantastic videographer. He's been pumping out very high quality content as well, and he's also very well versed. So he knows a ton of stuff about towels, and he's been doing this thing called Towel Tuesday on his reels that are basically highlighting which towel of the week that he wants to talk about to give you the benefits. And I love that from an educational standpoint, but I also love it from a quality standpoint too that he's producing. And then lastly,
No,
Jamie.
Wow, I
right.
thought you were going to forget
Jamie
again.
the cleaner.
That's crazy.
Jamie the cleaner. So
That's wild.
It's because he can turn himself invisible. And so
I don't know.
Like he'll be standing there, and then next thing you know, he's not there.
Well, he is
Yeah.
a big fan of Batman, and Batman was kind of like a ninja, hides in the shadows.
Right.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
No.
So sometimes he disappears, and like
Perhaps he has formal training.
yeah, and
No.
you know,
Yeah.
you go, Jamie, where did you go? And he's like, I'm here. I'm watching. I'm
Yeah.
right here. Like, don't worry about
with
it.
that
I
said,
was here the whole time, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
Jamie's got a knife in his mouth, right?
Yeah.
He's coming out.
Well,
from,
like
Mando.
so,
he's
all of
coming
his
out of
reels,
those marshes, right?
Yeah.
So what I
no,
envision-
that's been the craziest thing. No,
The water line is right here. It's just,
that's probably exactly what's happening because I was wondering, he's got all that content of him literally just sharpening knives.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's not a lot of detailing product videos, but he's been spraying his whetstones down with like some bead maker or clean maker, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's just been getting his knives. And I thought that was kind of a weird reel for me.
Yeah.
That's
no.
all.
Well.
I just envision Jamie coming out of the swamplands, right? Knife in his mouth, like covered in algae, right? Like he's got like the things under his eyes,
Yeah.
like the
the face
camo
paint.
stuff.
he's
face
got like a
paint.
half ghillie suit.
And he's just basically, that's his attack method, right?
just
He's
waiting.
coming in that stealthiness. But in all seriousness, no, Jamie's obviously amazing. He's always been amazing. And everything that he's done, starting out as a Grandmaster, where really I think he was just kind of part-time detailing, right? Not full-time at that point. And he was just kind of getting into content creation. But like he took that and ran with it, created his own YouTube channel that started getting a lot more views.
He runs a regular weekly podcast.
He's got this
Yeah.
awesome niche audience that just like, they respect him, they love him, and he's also just a very wholesome guy. He's extremely nice. Alex Dewar was actually so nice where Alex let Jamie drive the floor cleaner at last
That was
TRC.
and that I thought that's
And
a
I thought
huge deal.
That was a huge deal. That
Yeah.
Alex,
Not everybody gets that.
because Alex is usually on that floor cleaner
Well, and he also
23 and a half hours of the day.
yeah, when he's visiting, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like we told him he doesn't have to clean the floor that much,
Right.
and he's like, no.
Yeah.
It's the least I can do. And we're
Yeah.
like, well, you're on it for like 23 hours. And
Yeah.
it's actually quite a bit.
Yeah, you don't have to do
You don't
this.
have to do that. But he goes,
But
again,
Some of those hours
the
are
least.
sleeping while it's operating.
Yeah, he says the least he could do.
Yeah.
And I said, well, it feels like a lot.
Yeah, when Jamie sat in his seat, he looked over at us and he goes, "It's still warm." And I go, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Because Alex never leaves
for
it
quite
the
some
whole
time. So no, Jamie, you're doing an amazing job as well. But speaking of which, man, like honestly, what I noticed this weekend, Dane and Levi, is I've been feeling like kind of out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like mentally, like I feel like I'm just not with it as much, right?
Okay.
And for a while there, I was on something, right? I was feeling great, so positive, and all I could think about is wanting to go back to the United Kingdom, right? There was something about it. It was the people, the vibes.
Yeah.
Darren is just so fun and funny that like
it the weather?
It's him. It's like it's John Hull. It's maybe the
Yeah.
weather. It's all these different things.
You love the food there that
And-
much?
Oh, the food was delicious when I was looking back and thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm just like the UK, I'm all about it. And then It was just kind of weird because I started having kind of like this weird come down effect after a while, right?
Yeah.
Where I said, I don't know if I want to go back to the UK. I don't know what the deal is, but like I need something about that country.
Was it like a sugar high?
I don't know what it was exactly, Dane, but all I know is I'm feeling like I'm having this withdrawal. And what I noticed is when I was eating that honey, right?
Okay.
That honey, I was feeling good, man. Like I was feeling so good.
Yeah.
I was dipping into that honeycomb like every single day until I finally ran out. And then I started dipping into that raw honey, that good honey, right?
Yeah.
And I was
The
just
hairy
like,
honey wife.
the hairy honey wife. And I was like, man, dude, Darren's content is so funny. And I love Heather's content. I love that UK honey. It's just so good. And then I ran out. And
You're like totally out?
I'm out.
So, I think
Do you have any more?
the honeycomb's gone.
Gone?
I don't know. I think it got thrown away.
Yeah, you said that
what?
last time.
Well, you didn't throw it away,
So
right?
no, gosh, no.
Okay.
I think it got thrown away, and I didn't stay on top of it. I didn't watch it carefully like I should have.
Yeah.
But I've only got about this much left of the raw honey
Yeah.
because I've been using it every morning
Sparingly.
and putting it on my kids' sandwiches.
What do you want for that honey?
Making them strong.
Yeah, what do you want for the rest of that honey? I need that honey.
No, I only have that much left. I'm going to keep it.
What do you
because
say we
that's all I
split it?
have left.
$100. I'll throw you $100 for some of that honey. I just need something.
Just a fix,
I
like
just
a
need
bump.
I just need a fix. Dane?
Oh.
Maybe put it on your
I mean-
gums.
I'll be honest. I've just kind of kept it in my desk because honey, like, famously lasts a long time. Like,
it'll
honeycomb,
it'll last for millions of years.
Not this honey.
It was treasured, in ancient cultures as something very
Yeah.
special with, possibly life-giving power. So I did keep a little bit around.
Oh my.
I didn't quite know
you've
what to
been-
do with
so
it.
this whole time-
It's because I'm not an addict. I don't just
That's a
automatically
decent-sized
dig
cone,
in
You've been-
and eat the whole thing. I happen
Where have
to
you been keeping that?
The entire. I mean, it's just been in my desk
This
the
whole time?
The whole time since we got
Right
back
across
to the
from
UK.
us.
I can feel this drip happening in the back of my
very,
throat.
You're getting
very
thirsty?
delicious looking.
I don't know what
I'll
I'm-
give you
It's called
that.
it's called the hunger.
It's beautiful.
Levi, what do you
It's
say
really
we
nice.
dip back into this, right?
I mean, if you
And
guys
then-
wanted to try a little, I would let
we
have some.
Just need a little.
But
it's
that's
just a touch. It's just a
strictly
taste.
as friends. I'm not, saying you can have all of it.
Yeah, no, just a bite, just to see what it
Okay.
tastes like,
Just
just
a
a little,
touch.
just a
Just
tip,
a
Okay.
just a touch.
I mean, I
Just a
don't
tip.
want
need
your
some
fingers
spoons.
No,
over this.
You got
so
some
if you
spoons?
have like
Oh,
a better
you have 'em ready
solution-
right there.
Wow, you
Perfect.
just had
Wow.
that
Nice.
ready, waiting to go.
No, I think what I'm gonna do is maybe have a bite of this honey before I go judge the Grand Ambassadors
Okay.
every
That's
week,
a great idea. Mhm.
right?
Yeah, it'll clear your mind.
There is
That
tape seal on this, and I don't have fingernails. I'm sorry, I don't have
Well,
the means to
very
pull that
nice.
off. But Dylan, I came into this broadcast at a weird point, and that's saying something based on the history. Dylan, I love that you're here. We miss
Welcome,
you,
brother.
and welcome to the chaos that is our podcast.
Crack that seal.
oh my god,
It's just fresh,
It's been
right
perfect.
there,
It's just
ready to
saved.
go.
here we go.
Savory,
you guys ready for
delicious.
this?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it good. It's kind of blown out.
Yeah,
That's
all the
that's
highlights
how-
are like very
That's how
highlighty
rich
today.
this. That's how
Very
rich this honey
exposed.
is. So I'm just gonna go in for that corner
All right.
piece right there. Get myself a nice little chunk,
Oh my gosh.
and
All right, now Levi, you get your chance. That's cool.
This is nice. This
Oh,
is
no.
this is all I've been waiting for a while.
Alex, that's totally right. The honey was delivered better than my stove
There you go,
was.
Dane.
My TikTok for
there's
those who aren't
something in
familiar.
this.
Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, that's right. So, okay, I'm gonna try. It's weird. I've only had this in the UK. I've never actually tasted this here on our shores, so I don't know if it's gonna be a little different. Sea level versus where we are. We're pretty high up there.
Saying, Dane, if you make toast in the morning, a little bit of this on the toast.
Ooh, okay. And take a little. Wow, that is really in there. This is
Oh.
gonna be great for my dental visit tomorrow. I can't wait.
Now, honey's better for you than regular sugar.
Oh my gosh.
What do you
Oh
think,
my
Dane?
gosh.
What do you think? What's that?
Wow,
Do you see what you
Dane
see?
has been missing out.
that's insane.
Isn't that insane? Mm-hmm. I don't know what he's putting in that honey,
So here's the also thing.
but it's doing something.
What are
to
you
me.
doing to it?
Here's the other
Darren?
thing.
What are you doing
that
to that
and the
stuff?
raw, two totally different flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Crazy.
Man,
So-
I guess got like shivers. Like,
Yeah,
just
wow.
after eating that.
Feels good.
That's going back on my desk. I hope nobody takes it,
So-
from my desk.
We'll see what happens.
Sure.
to it.
Making sure we all
We'll keep a good eye
Safe,
on it.
it's
really-
safe. It's safe for right now.
being careful.
Oh,
around
dang,
my
you forgot
desk.
to lick your spoon. That's
I
why.
know,
It's okay.
All right.
Oh,
Anyways,
stick-
all right. So jumping into, I guess the point,
Our weekends.
the reason
How
why
did
you guys
everything
watch
go?
this
What
show.
are we doing? How we doing?
Well, it's definitely not for that. I mean,
Not for detailing. It's not for honey related things. But Levi, what'd your weekend look like?
Weekend was pretty chill.
Okay.
Pretty nice.
okay.
I did have a car to work on, which was a good, nice little project. Very clean truck. Truck that's got legend on it. The customer had run it through a car wash a couple times because he had gone. Normally, he washes it himself. Keeps it really nice. But he'd gone up to his cabin, and he said they'd already sprayed mag chloride on the roads on the way up.
Yeah.
And so he was a little worried, and came back down, and he said it created almost like a clay-like film on his pickup. So he ran it through the car wash.
Oh, hold on, Levi.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Looks like we got a super chat.
Whoa,
Days.
David,
Yeah.
starting
Thank you.
off the week
Not
right.
just to
Awesome.
interrupt you,
Thank
but,
Thank you.
but,
seriously,
thank
too
you.
kind.
Appreciate
so it
it.
looks like David saying Jamie the cleaner for the win and that hashtag. I mean,
Man, I keep
Very nice,
forgetting
Dave. Thank
these are
you.
back
We'll see
to
if
being
he comes
options.
to those
That's right.
marshlands.
Super chats are available if people want to do it. Nobody has to, but if you want to, that's cool. Thank you.
But
All
anyway,
right.
so back to my story. The truck it's a new pickup, new Chevy pickup, 2022. He got it in 2021. I coated it in Legend. The truck's immaculate. And he normally pressure washes it himself. Keeps it looking really nice. So he called me and said, hey, I need to just do a quick little maintenance on it.
Okay.
And but he goes, I ran it through the car wash. And I said, oh, what happened? And then he told me the mag chloride plus the dust on the road up to his cabin is very clay.
Turns into like a slurry.
It's very loamy dirt.
Uh-huh.
So it's a very fine dirt.
Yeah.
And so he goes, that mixed with the mag chloride and the wet roads created this like clay-like shell on his truck. And so he had pressure washed it first
Right.
and then ran it through the car wash. And he said when it came out, all the lowers from the front door back were scored at a diagonal like this, all the way down the sides. And he was like, I don't know what I did, and I hope I didn't ruin anything. So I gave him a couple options. I said, I can either take it all the way back down, remove all the compound or all the coating, and we can just recut, repolish, all of that. I said, but I don't want to have to do that because we're still 3 years in the coating. If the car wash is fine, the coating's still working, we're good. So I talked him into doing some little Uno Advanced
Oh, okay.
with a green foam Udos pad. I said, we're still going to have some scoring, but we're going to save the coating, which is the key point.
yeah.
And then we topped it with Defender and pulled the truck out, and it looked great.
Okay.
Also applied some coating to the top to his fender flares, his external fender flares. He had color matched.
Okay.
And when I coated the truck, they weren't ready yet.
Oh.
And so he was like, oh, I want to get those coated. And so I coated those, polished them out, and then coated them. Clean the interior. Very simple, easy detail for the weekend. So that was good. And then this weekend was a lot going on in Boise. So Saturday, we ended up doing art in the park.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
always a fun one.
And went and wandered around, checked everything out. They were selling fry bread tacos,
Oh my gosh.
otherwise known as Navajo tacos.
Yeah.
And so I made sure I got in line for one of those
Naturally.
at the food stuffs.
Yeah.
And then we just wandered, enjoyed the day. It was perfect. It was just almost too hot, but still really cool.
Well,
and
the
chill.
shade of the trees.
Yeah, so it
Got a lot of
it
trees.
was just a nice afternoon. So we went and did that. Sunday we just kind of took it easy, chilled out. Again, just had a nice day. Carly got me this fine leather good at Art in the Park,
Yeah.
so I was able to get me a little bracelet. So that was
What does it have on Odin's Raven?
no, it's got a kraken
A Kraken.
attacking a ship.
Okay.
Kind of
Well,
cool,
That's fun.
kind of fun. Yeah, I thought that was pretty
That's
neat.
fun. Not Nordic, right?
but still pretty
Necessarily. No, but that's a
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, that's pretty rad.
yeah.
And
Made in Idaho.
yeah, well, in Portland, I think the guy
Portland.
drove drove down, brought his little cart with
Yeah.
a stand full of leather goods. He was selling leather belts, handmade leather belts, $75.
Wow. Okay.
That's actually pretty reasonable for a handmade
But
good.
very
for that
nice.
kind
I was
of
looking
thing.
at some of the belts and things. They're very nice. He was making stuff right there in front of you.
Wow.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, it was pretty neat. But yeah, no,
I
we
love the leather working videos I've seen on YouTube. They're very interesting to me.
it's Brian said it's the most therapeutic thing he's done. Brian Guy from Color Lock
really
was starting doing leather
He does
working.
love that. He said he did his hat and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
he makes a
and
lot.
just-
He's got an Etsy site called Made by Brian Guy.
Oh, cool.
And he's got a
know
lot of his
exactly where to
hats
find
and things and purses and belts and all kinds of stuff he makes.
Yeah,
so
That's fun.
But no, it was fun. And then just kind of worked on the. We got more decorations up. The house is all decorated for Halloween now, looking sharp, looking great. Dropped the truck off. I dropped the Suburban off on Friday or Thursday at Boise Muffler. Had them do some maintenance on it. Wanted to make sure all the towing stuff was right.
Yeah.
So the rear axle, the differential, the rear axle, the drive line, the transfer case, the transmission,
Sure.
just all the way back. Let's just
Yeah.
change fluids, make sure everything's looking sharp, working right, make sure the U-joints are in good order, and then had them also change the oil again.
Yeah.
And then I had a noise, a high-pitched noise, almost harmonic, driving me insane.
Okay.
Remember, we drove down to Twin Falls, and it was so loud we couldn't handle it. We put our earbuds in to drive, and then the drive back with the trailer, same noise. And I'd spent the whole evening trying to chase this. I thought it was a bad ground, wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
Had them source it out.
Yeah.
They found out it was the light bar on the Suburban.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
The light bar.
The
so
light
it wasn't
bar.
a
From our
bad
friends over at
ground.
Oxbeam Lighting.
Yeah, so we removed it. I'm going to be putting it up on Facebook Marketplace to sell.
All right.
And
slightly
then,
used or
slightly
lightly
used.
Yeah.
So took that, removed that, and then also had it taken back upstairs, as we call it. So there's two Boise mufflers. There's the muffler shop, which we call upstairs, and the body or the automotive repair place,
Right.
which is but shout out to Boise Muffler. So their automotive repair place is a block away from my old shop.
Right. it's
And they
just
call
right
that
over
downstairs because you got to go up a hill and down a hill
Yeah.
to get to them. So I told them, hey, I also want to have the exhaust looked at because it's got a weird rattle. It's been making
Yeah.
a rattle inside for about 6 months. Remember, you had heard it. You're like, what happened to your truck?
there. Somewhere in the exhaust, you were picking up on a.
It was like just a rat.
Rattling
Like it would
noise.
idle and it would go, like you would hear it.
There's a
Probably 'cause
certain
Augie put
frequency where
a Hot Wheel in the exhaust.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So had them take a look at that. They said, oh, the muffler inside, there's loose pieces inside. We
Okay.
can hear it. So they replaced the muffler and replaced the tips. So I got some nicer, bigger
Nice.
slash cut tips
All
on
right.
it. And
Yeah.
so picked up the Suburban on today, last evening.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Does it?
It's quiet.
Oh.
So
Not-
it's
not
got a
loud?
nice, it sounds like it used to.
Oh.
But when you step on it, those tips give it a nice throaty growl. So Augie, as we're walking out this morning, I said, what do you think of the exhaust? Looks pretty cool on there. And he goes, yeah, but when you started it last night, it didn't sound like anything.
He
And
had
I
the
said,
Anthony reaction.
and I said, oh,
it's just
well, you were like over by the garage door and I was in the driveway. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't hear anything.
like you said you were going to do an exhaust.
Yeah.
And I was expecting an exhaust.
Yeah, so I had him stand by the exhaust. I said, stand right over here. And so he
It's
stood
nice
there.
CO2.
I said, we're going to do what's called a cold start. Fired it up. And he's like, okay, that sounds pretty good. And I threw it a rev. And it goes, wow. And he goes, oh, okay, that sounds way better. And I said, good, that's great. So
Point
that was
made.
so this morning I took him to go get, we went over to get his teeth done.
Oh, right,
He got a
yeah.
new crown,
Yeah.
a silver crown put on. And he was a little nervous, so they gave
Okay.
him some nitrous. Once he calmed down with the nitrous, then they gave him the shot, which he did not like.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that bothers me.
okay.
This is a pediatric dentistry. And Augie was telling me, he's like, the thing I don't like is they talk about sugar bugs. And Augie has a fear of crawling things, of bugs. He doesn't like bugs. So he goes, the last time I went, I got sugar bug. They told me about the sugar bugs, and that freaked me out. And all I could think about was these sugar bugs. And he goes, and I don't like that because I'm a diabetic and I need sugar. So what am I supposed to do? And I said, well, then that's not real. They say that to keep little kids that don't have diabetes, like to remember to brush their teeth so they don't get the cavities. I go, but you're going to have cavities because you have to have sugar in the middle of the night. And I said, so that doesn't affect you. So we had to go in, and I made sure I told the hygienist that was assisting, I said, please don't use the term sugar bugs. Like, you can't, he's a diabetic and he needs sugar, so don't do that. Then the dentist comes in, so she's like, okay, so she doesn't use it, and that helps Og. And he goes, Augie gave me a little squeeze of the hand and goes, thank you for protecting me from these sugar bugs. I said, you're welcome. The dentist comes in, he's cleaning and drilling and doing his stuff, and he's like, well, we want to get these sugar bugs. And Augie goes, ah! And I go, please don't use that term, Dr. Roy Rogers. Because that's his name, is Roy Rogers.
Is that his
actual dentist name is Roy Rogers.
Crap. That's crazy.
And he's like, oh, okay. And so I said, just cut that. Okay. So he's like, oh, sorry, Augie, I didn't mean to say that. And he's like, do it. And Augie's like, oh, okay. So anyway.
He's very sensitive.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing. Augie is good. He handled it like a champ. I was super proud of him because it was really he hasn't had a lot of dental surgery since the last time, and they put him under. Yeah. So this was his first conscious adult style dental surgery, and so he did really good. Yeah. We stopped at Walmart, picked up some Pokemon packs, and then he opened them and on the drive home, and then dropped him off at school. And
all right.
Yeah, so it was a good weekend overall. Carly and I started The Americans.
Oh, that's a great
We haven't watched
show.
that series ever.
Yeah.
And so we started watching it. It's been awesome.
That's
and
great.
Then Super Auto reached out to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I popped this up on the screen.
So his son went to Bish's, looked up a new travel trailer because his got ruined.
Oh.
And and so had an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Okay. And the insurance, so he had the money to get a new one, but he had heard about, his dad told him about the podcast. Yeah. So he had listened. So he contacted and started looking on Bish's website, found the one he wanted, then found the exact same trailer with a dealer in his area near him.
No way.
They matched the price.
Ooh.
They matched Bish's price.
Wow. That's amazing.
So he was able to score a really great
you're
trailer.
saying our podcast saves somebody tens of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Potentially.
All right.
Potentially.
If there's not a better reason to listen than that, I don't know what there is.
Wow. Another trailer owner. It's got to feel pretty good.
Crazy.
Right?
Impressive, right?
Impressive. Yeah.
So look at us doing the good deeds and the good work and saving people money on not only detailing products but also RVs.
And bikes.
And bikes.
And bikes. GT Aggressor Pros, baby, right?
Exactly.
Pretty
Super Auto
cool.
was able to take advantage of those as well.
Fantastic deal over at Dick's, right?
Look at that.
You got Dick's and Bish's, right?
Those are real names of real businesses.
Thanks to our great sponsors, Dick's Sporting Goods and Bish's RV.
Our sponsors, Dick's and Bish's. I mean, that's pretty much how this works.
Man.
So how's the rest of your weekend?
That was it. It was a good, chill weekend.
Man.
We had a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah, Carly and I had a great weekend, and kids were good, so everything worked out great. What'd you guys do?
Not so bad. Well, before we get on to my weekend, because presumably you'll go last, I was popping up Dino. Sorry, buddy. Right after saving a bunch of people money, you mentioned, getting ads in the middle of life. That's YouTube. YouTube's doing a lot of ad stuff now, and if you don't have premium, you're probably going to end up seeing an ad or two. I have control over how much or how little it is, and I've made it as little as possible on this channel because it gives you basically a strongest, middle, weakest, and I just chose weakest. We're not trying to make a ton of money off of anybody through ad revenue here. It's just literally YouTube makes you do some level of it, and I just chose the lowest one.
Yeah, and we can't turn it off.
No.
So, short of you guys getting YouTube Premium, that's the only way to get rid of it.
Sorry, guys.
So.
All right, so then, moving along here, my weekend, well, I mean, it's been a chill one as well, but I got a lot of like physical activity done. I was going out there, getting my walk on. Liz came with me on a few of these, so that was great. But we also celebrated my dad's birthday, so that was
very
nice.
nice.
Yeah. Got together at their house, beautiful time. Had a nice little walk around the neighborhood, which is still under development. And, it's one of those, I'm of the mind that I never like having houses like too close together. Like it's one thing, okay, you live in an apartment or condo, you expect to share a wall.
Right.
But if you spend a bunch of money on a house where you're like, I got my own yard and all this stuff, and then your neighbor is like 6 inches away, their wall for their house is right next to yours.
Yeah.
Even if it's like no windows on that side or it's like an alleyway kind of thing, it's real tight. Something about that just doesn't sit well with me. But if you can make the experience
as a man who
house,
has half an acre
Right,
of land on the side of the hill, I can see
spoiled.
that. I can see that. Yeah.
I like the space I got. But in their newer house here, that they don't really have that problem anymore.
That's
like
nice.
the
Yeah, they got a little more
proximity is
room.
there, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it because the house is like angled away
Yeah.
from the neighbor. And bless you.
Sorry.
And they're like on the water of this big pond lake thing, so you get a beautiful view out, and it's like pointed at the furthest across section of the lake, so it looks bigger than it even is.
Yeah.
So it's one of those nice experiences. But we had a nice little breakfast casserole. My mom always makes this awesome breakfast casserole that's got like hash browns and like omelet style eggs in it and stuff. It's so good.
All that needs is just a little Tabasco, a little bit of hot sauce.
We
just to take
glop a little bit of sour cream on top, followed
Yeah.
by a salsa that's delicious, and then
Yeah.
you can add your own, hot sauce if you want.
Your mom is very good at
Tapatio or
making.
Cholula is commonly
She-
used.
Carolyn is very good at making casseroles,
Mm-hmm.
pastas, and like things that are like a smorgasbord of food into like a mix of things.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how to combine those flavors to make it
Yes.
very, very delicious. But
It is
Dane,
never bad.
Dane,
It's
you've
great
talked about that
every
breakfast
time.
casserole for many, many years. I think I remember trying it once.
I think you got to try it once. I,
think-
don't know if
I
you ever
think-
got to try it once. Or
I
what?
think for some
the breakfast,
casserole.
casserole. It's like a very
Somehow I
just
either
imagine an omelet done
Yeah.
in a lasagna.
No,
style,
I know. So
basically.
my
or
stepmom,
like quiche, but
no,
not
my
quiche.
my stepmom used to make it every
Yeah.
year for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Okay.
She would always make that. I make a version of that at home, but what we call it is cheesy hash.
Cheesy hash.
And
yeah,
what it
that's
is I make hash browns.
Yeah,
And then I
okay.
crack a bunch of eggs into the hash browns. And then I stir it all up. So I scramble the eggs
I love that,
almost
too.
in the hash browns.
Yeah.
And then I grate a bunch of cheese
Okay.
all over it. Little kosher salt, little black pepper.
Yeah.
Maybe just a touch of garlic. Stir it all up. And then I give that to the family. Hadley loves ketchup. She just soaks the whole top layer of her cheesy hash in ketchup, and that's
Yeah.
what she eats.
Oh no, that's
She loves
a
it.
solid move. That's actually something Express Cafe does really
Yeah.
well. It's like a cheesy
And then
hash
it's also
brown
great with
setup.
tortillas.
Oh,
Because you could
Yeah.
substitute tomato sauce or
yeah,
ketchup with a salsa or anything like that.
just
So,
making me hungry now.
yeah.
Okay,
And
anyway.
I've put in sausage before.
Yeah.
I've put in sliced up bacon. I've done a lot of that in mine.
Oh,
It
it's so
works pretty
good.
good. So
No, yeah, any kind
Dane
of dish
loves
like
his
that is
breakfast
just-
foods
oh,
for sure.
Love that.
And if you were to top that with a hollandaise sauce, I'm sure he would be in heaven. I mean, after all, there's a reason why Express Cafe in Boise, right? The number one
They've got a
breakfast
plaque
spot,
for
or I
number
should
one
say
customer.
Meridian, right?
Yeah.
They do have Dane's plaque there on the wall for being a number one customer for like 8 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And it's
world
It's a
record.
They
picture.
recognize me every time I'm at the window. So.
It's a picture of
Is
him
this
in his
Dane
old
again?
Miata.
Yeah.
They recognize me over the speaker box before they even see me. They're like, "Hey, Dane!" Like they say it with confidence. Like,
Oh,
they aren't even
nice.
guessing. They're like, "Hey, Dane!" And
Dan,
I'm like,
when,
"Yes."
okay, so honestly, when's the last time you've been to Express Cafe?
Last weekend.
I love how far away it is from his new house, and he still enjoys
You know
that
what?
morning
It is
drive.
so far
It's so
from it.
far.
the
The
same
food's
way-
cold by the time it gets
He
back.
I
has
keep it
he
hot
has
with a
a
seat
cafe.
heater.
He has
And
a
I turn on
cafe
my-
at the
I
base
turn on
of
my-
his house.
I know.
I turn on my dual climate to 75 on the passenger side where the food is. Then I turn on the seat heater, and then on my side it's a cool, balmy 62.
You know what we need to do is get you one of those hot bags from like Walmart that you can you keep in there solely for for Express Cafe
Man.
foods.
Just
Yeah.
something like
It's like
that.
it's like a
I'm
pizza
basically just
oven.
an Uber Eats, but it's just for
Yeah,
me.
it's a pizza oven.
Yeah.
The difference is, though, in my past Express Cafe visits, I was getting stuff that frankly was I was going to put on pounds. But now when I go there, I'm getting things that are actually
Just
leaner.
chicken fried steak all the
I'm not.
time.
I haven't touched chicken fried steak in
okay.
over a year now.
Wow,
But
well, good
you
for
do
you.
miss
That's
it.
impressive.
I miss it so much.
That's
I
impressive,
miss
Dane.
it
That was
so
your
much.
favorite.
Yeah.
No, now I'm pretty much exclusively
Just a
sticking to like a
dozen, half a
breakfast
dozen
platter
donut?
where
Oh,
it's
okay.
basically like eggs, sausage, bacon, some
fruit.
greens, some fruit,
Nice.
that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm
All right.
going the healthier route.
Well, I'm proud of you.
It's not the healthiest, but it's a good compromise,
Well,
and
it's
I'm not making
hey,
my situation actively
We'll call it a
worse.
cheat day.
Sure, yeah, because
Yeah.
the rest of the week I'm eating stuff that frankly
You
is
do.
boring as all heck to me, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
I just
it is
know
helping.
that when Dane wakes up on a Saturday morning and he's there,
He
wakes
knows
up,
it's a Saturday
he
morning.
sleeps in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Talks to Liz. He says, "Hey, what do you want to do for breakfast this morning?" She goes, "Express Cafe," and he goes,
You read my mind.
"You don't have to twist my arm."
Yeah.
And I could already see Dane he's in his pajamas still. He walks down to the Ford Flex, right? Gives it a nice cold start, jumps in there, adjusts his mirrors for about 10-15 minutes.
We have to let
make
the
sure
car
his-
warm up because
make
it's
sure
turbo.
his seat heater or seat
Yeah.
cooler is working depending on the situation, right?
Yeah.
And then makes his way down that hill, and he'll be back with breakfast in about 2 hours.
No, here's the thing. I don't
So
drive.
far.
I don't drive the Flex
So
to
far.
go get Express. I always drive the Jag.
Oh,
because the
okay.
excuse there is that's my weekend Sunday drive, but on a Saturday, and I get to drive Hill Road as far as I can take it before I have to turn on to.
Well, you really
thing.
do take the long way around.
I take the longest, windiest, but I take it fast, route,
Dang,
and I
so
get
when
over there.
Liz gets her breakfast in the morning after you get back, it's
Well,
all
she's-
jumbled up.
No, but she stays asleep. She sleeps in. That's what he does. to
Also, I
give
don't
her a
even
little-
say out the full words Express
Yeah.
Cafe. I just say Express, and then she knows what I mean. And then
Oh,
that's
wow,
it.
you got it, shorthand.
Shorthand, yeah. And it's just,
Nice.
it's a Saturday morning thing, so we know.
It's too
But
funny.
yeah, no,
Dane.
that's the move because I look at it as like, here's the day where I get to drive spiritedly to
Yeah.
go pick up some of my favorite
Okay.
things and come back and
You
that's,
get to
that's
drive
my little,
a-
You get
my
to
little
drive a
joy.
favorite car on
Yep.
a favorite road on a
Yeah.
Saturday morning to get your favorite thing.
And that's why driving a long way doesn't bother me in the least.
Yeah.
Because when
I
I
can see
get
that.
there, the people are so happy to see me. It makes up for
Yeah.
any possible
See-
I have to go a long way. No, everybody's
so,
happy.
so by me, I've got Eggman and Earl.
Yes,
and
you have it
normally,
much closer to you.
So I can just shoot down half a mile from my house.
Yeah.
I can just blast down, get it, pick up the order, and come back, and it's still hot. We have the griddle that's 3/4 of a mile away. I will not go there for the fear that the food will get cold by the time I make it home.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That quarter
You
mile
guys just
extra,
eat at the places.
no, because then I have to get everybody up. I got to get everybody. Like when you've got a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
just are like, yeah, I'll wear this. And it's like, all right, your breath smells and you kind of stink. Like, I got to get you ready. By the time you get them dressed and ready to go and their hair done, like it's too much. So I'd rather just get up, throw on some shorts and a t-shirt, wash my face, brush my teeth, call the order in, and then head over and pick it up, and then come back. And then the kids are like, oh, especially when they're watching TV, like they're even harder to wrangle.
Yeah,
So-
makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Anyways, Dane, what else do you do over your weekend?
So basically, that was the majority of my weekend was that, and a ton of like walks, even a little jogging. I experimented,
Nice,
trying that a little bit. Brutal on my body at this point, but you still got to try.
Thanks
But
to our friends at Brooks Running,
Yes.
it wasn't as
the
brutal
shoes
on your body.
were not the problem. I'll tell you that.
And what shoes were you wearing, Dane?
I was wearing my actually I was wearing my Ghosts.
yeah.
yeah.
I
No,
happen to be wearing
those-
my
those were
Ghost
great.
today. I got my Brooks Ghost 13s on.
Nice.
Okay, somewhere.
Those shoes
underneath
are
there.
Throwback.
deceptively
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
These shoes have probably survived the best out of all of my Brooks.
They hold up. Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah, I love them. I've been wearing a lot of Brooks lately.
Yeah. But I discovered a
I've
few.
got my glycerins on.
Ooh,
Oh, the
nice.
glycerins.
GTS.
The glycerins are one of my favorites because of how cushy they are. They're just so cushy. That's what I got Liz because she has her back problems and stuff. So she's on those. I think it's going to.
Did they come in yet?
chance. Not yet, but I think it should be soon, right? It
Should
only
be.
takes
What
a
if
few
it
days.
fixed Liz's back?
Wouldn't that be?
Would that be
I don't think it's going to do anything
crazy?
about the literal
It'd be-
metal
it would
rods
be
she
awesome.
has
Yeah.
by her spine, but anything short of that'd be great.
Pretty
So,
crazy. So,
yeah.
other than that, you also watched a lot of Killing It.
Yes. So between trying to go out and exercise, I also did the couch potato thing. sedentary, but I tried to break up my day.
Combine the
That's the
show
thing.
watching and the walking.
But for me, it was the walk
Dane will
happens
have a
earlier in the
six-pack
day,
in
and
a
then
week.
the evening is showtime. So
all right.
basically, I discovered some new trails out walking. We're down by the river over by Veterans, which actually had some really great trails going along there over to the Whitewater Park and back, which was awesome. But then I got back, and you had been telling me about the show Killing It, and your selling point was Craig Robinson's in it, and I love that guy. So I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So I started watching it, and at first I'm like, this is a very dumb but kind of fun show. And then as it goes on, you're like, oh, this is dark. And then it gets heavier. It basically is kind of an indictment of like how people would perceive the American dream or hustle culture and that kind of stuff. But it's basically about sitting there and struggling and constantly fighting, the system or just being stuck in a rut and how do you get yourself out of it. And it takes some very interesting angles, but it's a fun show. But it definitely had a few moments where I was not expecting what happened. And I can't say anything more about it because
I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
he told me about it. So, of course, I did what I do, which is, like, devour a show.
Yeah.
And within 2 days, I was done with the whole first
I know,
season. Meanwhile...
He's like, Anthony, where are you? I'm like, damn, I have a family. I can't
Meanwhile,
sit there all night.
he's just like, so where are you at? I thought you were going to watch the show. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to. And then the next day I watched, like, most of it. And then I come back and I'm like, all right, where are you at? And he goes, oh, I'm episode 6. I'm like, I finished the first season. I can't talk to you about anything. Oh, crap.
We'll be able to talk. I just need to re-up my my subscription for Peacock. Because I thought
I
Peacock,
hate how many streaming services there are. The only reason I went for it is because I had a free trial handy, and I was like,
so
yeah,
I
sure,
thought
all
Peacock
right.
was free, right?
Yeah,
I think
it usually
for
is.
some
It's called
reason-
Peacock, not Free Cock.
for some-
Wait,
there is.
for some reason.
Why'd you say
Dane,
that?
I just
Dane,
talked
that's-
before I think.
Dane,
so
that's a different channel,
that's
right?
a different channel.
That's a different channel, and I don't think you have to pay. I think you just need to be in
there
it.
we are, demonetized.
Yeah, private browsing,
I
right?
demonetized us this week. Great.
So, no, I've always thought that like certain streaming platforms were
Right.
genuinely free.
Well, no, because you can get on Peacock, you can see quite a bit
You
for
see quite a
free.
bit, but I'm saying that like on my Roku TV.
You're right.
Yeah.
When I start flipping through channels, I click HBO, it just starts loading up and it works, right? I go, that's cool. Netflix works, Prime works, right? Disney works, Hulu works, all these different things work. I found out that my wife's family has like their own ecosystem for their streaming
Correct.
platforms,
Yeah.
right? We I think me and Katie pay for 2.
Yeah.
Katie's grandparents pay for 2 or 3. Katie's mom pays for 3 or something like that, and we all just share each other's
Right.
crap.
Yeah.
And I
That's
didn't know
that's
that.
called the problem.
And so, but it's amazing because I'm like,
No,
I
it's
have all
great.
access to all
I
these
do the
things,
exact same thing.
right? But
The hard part is the companies are cracking down.
but I got onto Peacock and it just was like it said you can watch Killing It, but now you have to pay for it. And I go, what? Did they just start charging for this? So I run in like midnight to the bedroom. Hey, Katie, what's going on there? Peacock? Oh, yeah, my mom was paying for it. Something happened. I don't know. And I go, okay, well, I got
So
a show.
you're
I
always
got a
paying for it.
show to
I'm
watch,
watching
right? I
the
got to
show.
figure this out. She goes, well, if you want to subscribe, you can. I'm like, I don't want to pay for it if we were already getting it.
If
for
you're
free.
just watching
I
one
wanna
show,
do
you
that.
can do the thing like I know you sometimes do with other things you pay for in a subscription model. You're just like, I'm going to be on for this month while I watch this thing, and then I'm going to turn it off as
Yeah.
soon as I'm done. People
I've
who
done
do
that.
that,
Yeah, we do that for Showtime with Yellow
I
Jackets.
should do that, but I haven't done. I need
Yeah.
to be better about
So
that. but
anyway,
yeah.
All right,
But
so
it's worth it. I'm telling
yeah.
you, if you
I
enjoyed the
know.
first part, it actually
I-
gets better as it goes along.
Don't
But then
tell
the
me, Dane.
other thing I did,
Uh-huh.
other than that show, was I also watched probably 3/4 of the new season of Winning Time. So I caught up on that.
Good.
And that was what you thought we were talking about when we
Right.
were talking about Killing
yeah,
It. And
they
you're
were like,
oh, yeah,
have you
I've been
seen
watching-
that
I
movie?
told
Have you
guys
seen that
about
show? And I said, yeah, I've
And
been
we're like,
telling you about
no.
Winning Time. And they're like, no, we're talking about Killing Time. And I was like,
Killing It,
oh,
yeah.
a different- different
Winning
show.
Time is fantastic.
Killing It.
I love that show too.
Yeah.
And just watching this new season just reinforces all the things I loved
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
at first. So both are very fun shows. Very different. Very,
Very
very
different.
different.
Yeah.
But fun nonetheless.
Yeah.
So
I-
that's my contribution. But my goodness, the comments.
Yeah, no, I love that show. Okay, so jumping into my actual weekend.
Yeah.
So Thursday, is my 4-year anniversary.
oh,
Married for
congratulations.
4 years, right?
Yeah.
Been together for 8, married for 4.
Tony Mazeltov.
Yeah, we've been together for hold on. Let me count that in my head. Actually, yes, we've been together for 8. We've been married for 4. So on Thursday it was just kind of a just, hey, happy anniversary. Got my wife some flowers, right? Got her a big old thing. I usually get her like a bulk amount of flowers, and I let her cut them up and put them into a vase. That's, I think she enjoys doing that. And then, so I think Thursday night, actually went to Hook and Reel. Got myself a good old-fashioned Southern boil, right?
Just like you'd get in San Diego.
Just like I would get in the deep south of San Diego, right? I'm talking crawfish, scallops, black mussels. Got myself some
love that stuff.
Head off shrimp, right?
Oh.
And I got it done in their original Cajun signature blend, right? Which is like a butter, garlic, spice kind of sauce with red potatoes. My mouth is watering. Yeah. Corn, right? Sausages.
Wow.
He can't talk.
And a side of bread that I can dip it into. And, oh, man. I love that stuff so much. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this honey showed up. If a Cajun boil shows up at the rag company, right? Still hot. From Louisiana.
Everybody else will be
You want
disgusted.
it from Louisiana, though?
Preferably.
What he wants is he wants me to drive down, pick it up in a drive-thru,
I'm just
drive
saying,
it all
if
the
a
way
certain
back.
You'll do that.
I
You
would
would
do
do
that.
it.
If a certain cleaner has access to good old-fashioned Southern food, he can somehow ship something to me hot and ready.
Oh.
No, you pay me by the
amazing.
mile, but still.
Or I just probably make it easier if we just go down to the deep south.
Okay.
All right,
but
Jamie,
so
you're up.
that was my Thursday. Then Friday after work, right, to celebrate our anniversary, because we talked about, like, wanting to go do something fun. Every year previous to this, we've gone out to like Ruth's Chris, or we've gone out to like a steakhouse, and we've had a nice steak dinner, and it's been a good time. We stayed in downtown Boise one year, which I think this was on a podcast a couple of years ago, where I said we stayed there, got to go venture around the city. We had a good time. But now with our daughter, right, we're thinking, okay, what's the best way to do this, right? Okay, maybe she can stay over at my parents' house for the night, and we can figure out something else fun to do. But when we started thinking about like steak dinners, we kind of went out and had some nice steak dinners last weekend, and I was like, do I really want to spend like $500 at Ruth's Chris on another steak dinner? Not really. I said, instead, how about we do something fun? So this is what we did instead. We did 2 escape rooms, right?
Oh.
We went to escape.
That's not food.
I know. We want to do something, an activity. So we went to Escape the Room Boise, which is it's a chain. Escape the Room's a chain, but they have different locations in major big cities.
Yeah.
So we went to this one, and upon arriving, we had no idea where the heck it was. We thought it was near an aquarium. We thought it was near like a Dave & Buster's. Turns out it was in the mall. So, as you can imagine, our expectations needed to be lowered, right?
Was it like in one of the hollowed out stores?
It's over by
the mall,
Macy's.
by the Macy's. Yeah.
On the downstairs across from one of the makeup places.
We call and they go, yeah, we're in the mall. And me and my wife
the
look
old
at
Hall
each other and we go, crap, right? Like, it's in the mall. Like, this can't be good, right?
These are things you can see online before you get there.
No, the pictures are of a building. So it uses the same photos.
Sneaky.
So we get to the mall and we walk in. Dude, to my surprise, place is pretty freaking nice, right? They've taken what was like an old Gap or something,
it was an old
a very
store.
large store, and they've turned it into this full escape room complex. So we get in, we check in, and they say, hey, so your time slot right here, technically we filled some other spots with another family if you want to, if you're okay with joining with this family. And I look over and it's just the most like gung-ho, like, I don't know how to describe this family, just like
they're too excited to be here.
Like super family power, like, hey,
Yeah.
we got this, we're gonna get in here and beat the best times.
Team Fisher.
And I'm kind of like looking over and the parents are older, the kids are kind of in their teenage years, and I go,
These people are going to be
it might
really
be
annoying.
best if they just do it themselves, So I asked them, I said, hey, can we get into another escape room? They go, yeah, I know, we can get you into your own, and then your next time slot after this will be your own as well. And we go, oh, that's perfect. Let's just do that. So, they had a couple of different options, dude, on the themes and whatnot. We didn't really know what to expect. There was kind of like a fun house, kind of circusy theater themed room. There was it's called the Clock Tower, which is like an Edison kind of like 1800s, kind of themed room. A lot of electricity, things like that. And then they had a submarine, which was like a full-on submarine style thing.
That's
and
cool.
then they had a Western, like a whole Western bar or Western saloon theme.
Well, you just walk through the saloon doors. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand
Easy
what's
to
so
get
tough
out.
about
Yeah.
that.
And I don't know. It was something Western. I know it was a Western bank heist is what it was.
Oh,
A Western
maybe
bank
like
heist,
you're in
yeah.
a safe or
I
something.
think, yeah, there's like cells in there and whatnot. And then there was a one that was called the Agency, which is the one that we signed up for, which is a 007 James Bond themed in an English bar, right?
Yeah.
So we head into this escape room, and I'm not going to break down every single thing, but basically pretty impressive. I mean, I think all escape rooms they do a pretty good job on because they have to create that environment.
Illusion,
Like
yeah.
whoever.
Yeah. You have to be able to immerse yourself in the experience.
I don't know who has those kind of skills. Like, there's certain people I've met. They go, "Oh, I know how to make this feel like this."
set designers
Set
who work
design.
on TV shows and movies and plays and
Yeah.
stuff
It's
like that,
amazing.
theater.
That's a whole art what they're able to do.
The crafts
because
people who do that stuff are
it's-
incredible.
You could,
At all levels.
you know, the same people that do
That's
the crap
cool.
at Disney and all
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
places, they can make you feel like you're somewhere else. So, walking into this place, they give us the rules. They say, "Hey, you have an hour. Good luck." Pretty cool, man. English bar taps and things like that. We're going through all these different locks, and it's so funny because whenever you're in an escape room, you have your overthinkers and you have your underthinkers, right? My wife, she's super competitive, so she might fall into that overthinking category. I fall into the, hey, this door doesn't open. This doesn't jiggle. I'm in the underthinker and the like, hey, I don't think they probably put that much effort into this. I mean, for what it's worth.
You're not
So
thinking
maybe
about it like it's a real scenario. You're like, how did the people who made this
That's
thing?
so maybe I'm an overthinker.
You're taking
I'm
it to
not
a different. You're taking it to a meta level.
Yes, I get to the meta level of what would I have done if I would have done this, and I don't know.
You had to create an escape room.
You know, it is what it is. And what was the coolest thing is that after finally struggling for a little while and we get the first couple clues, start solving things,
Yeah.
I had no idea this was like this, right? But we get to these bar taps and there's this order that they say these bar taps. So you go boom, 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 boom. Scared the crap out of us, right? Door opens up behind us in the shelving that we did not know was there, right? My wife screams, and I go, "Oh my god!" Because I scream, I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what happened?" And I look back behind us, and what I thought that was the only room. It opens up into a second part from now being an English bar, like an old bar that's all wooden and
Yeah.
everything like that, to being a secret agent bunker,
Oh.
right?
Like a safe house.
That's like a
kinda
safe
thing.
house with like weapons and cash stashes and IDs, and I'm
Nice.
like, this is cool, right? And I was more amazed that I go, well, crap, we've spent 40 minutes in the first room.
You're not done yet.
We only have an hour. So
Yeah.
my wife's like, hurry, grab the clues, and we start opening things up. It was just so funny, dude, because we get through it. Eventually, we ran out of time in that second room, and the craziest part. Lady shows up and says, "Hey, yeah, you were pretty close. You still had this many clues left to do, and you had to get to the third room." And I go, "There was a third room? What?" And so
That's cool.
we didn't do great on that one, but then we did the submarine one afterwards, and that one was a whole different animal. Like it was you get into the submarine. The premise is that like you're running out of air and the submarine is going to implode. And I go, this is weird timing. For
It definitely
you know.
existed before
Yeah.
that happened, but boy, I bet it was popular after.
So it was like a full thing that it was like you had to get into this next room, but we got into the next room, power's off, right? So it's completely
Yeah.
pitch black in there. So you have to navigate to go find this crank and power up the room and keep the power on. So it's like designed
So
for...
somebody has to stay there and crank it while the other
because
people
otherwise
go
the power
looking?
runs out,
Oh,
right? And I
boy.
go, this is crazy that they've thought about all this stuff. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
we had a ton
cool.
of fun. We left there, me and my wife were just like, yeah, we got to go do the other rooms because this place is good. Like it was a fun time. And so after that, we went to one of Katie's favorites, P.F. Chang's. I've not been to a P.F. Chang's in like...
I've never been to a P.F.
I
Chang's.
still
and I'm
have a
proud.
$150 gift card to go there that I
What?
have never used, and I've had it for 12 years now.
Dang, it's
Probably
expired.
bad.
It's
Those
probably bad.
aren't supposed to expire though
You
legally.
should call the number. You should call the number and see
I
what the
wonder
balance still
if
is
it would
on
still work.
and then you
no
take
joke.
it in. That'd be
It's
great.
just like, what? I found it one day
but-
digging through.
Yeah, we went
an
to
office.
PF Chang's. I haven't
Yeah.
been there in forever. Katie's been there recently, but we went there. All I can think about when I think of PF Chang's, like prom night, right? So, like, because that was all Boise had. Like, Boise had like 5 decent places. We had Goodwood. We had, I think Chandler's maybe existed. I think we had PF Chang's. We had Cheesecake Factory, and then there was like, I don't know. There's probably like one
Didn't
more.
Barbacoa
One
exist?
more. I don't. Maybe
been around a
maybe
while.
since high school. I don't know.
It's been
all I could
around
think
a
about is
while.
just all the kids at my high school. Man, we're going to PF Chang's tonight. I go, oh my god, you're rich, right? That's awesome. But we went there, and dude, had a great dinner. I forgot that place is actually pretty good. It's been so long, and we ate like kings and queens.
Very nice.
All the appetizers, all the lettuce wraps, all the entrees and things like that. Dude, I think it was like $90.
What?
Yeah, like drink sake.
It's the
like
only thing that
sake,
didn't get more
wine,
expensive these last couple of
wine.
years.
I mean, like
Dane, you could eat like a
My gift
bigger
card would pay
king.
for all of us.
no, dude, I'm telling you, I had sushi and a main thing. I had all this stuff.
They must have made a mistake. That
No,
can't be
Dane,
right.
I swear to you. And then because it was our anniversary, they gave us this fat piece of chocolate cake.
Oh my
And they
gosh.
go, "Hey, it's probably getting kind of late. Would you want this to go?" And we go, "Absolutely. This is amazing." I get the bill and I look at Kenny, I'm like, "Oh my god, like this." Like, I'm not saying this is cheap, but I mean this is much cheaper than I
Compared to
expected.
everything
Yeah.
else, the
And
percentage.
she looked and she goes, "Oh my god!" She's like, "We gotta come to PF Chang's more often." I know, right? My high school self would be proud. So that was
Nice.
kind of our Friday night. Saturday was a pretty chill day. I mean, I mostly got stuff done around the house, lawn work, things like that. My garage is still filled with things from the garage sale.
Yeah.
Needs to be resolved soon.
Yeah, you need to put them all back
Because
up.
I need to get that garage back in a functional detailing
Inviting
space so I can keep up on all my stuff. And because I didn't really do any washing this weekend at all. Yeah, I think the rest of Saturday was spent with my family a little bit. Just kind of hung out. And then I think on Sunday we went to Art in the Park as well. And man, I like the idea of Art in the Park. I do not like the idea of going with my, almost 2-year-old daughter as she is in I want to touch everything phase, right? And she also doesn't want to be in her stroller phase. And so
Fidgety.
taking her to an art, essentially an outdoor art exhibit
with a
that's
bunch
where things
of
for
with a
sale,
bunch of tents,
with a bunch of tents and things like that. I'm like,
expensive things too.
yeah.
I'm
Oh
like-
yeah.
like there's a pretty large risk here involved,
Yeah.
right? But we ended up getting there and going. I got myself some mini donuts. Have to. I have to. 24 mini
Yeah.
donuts.
Right next to the mini donuts was the fry bread.
Correct. And my wife's like, "Do you need these mini donuts?" I go, "I get mini donuts twice a year. The fair, if we go, and maybe one other time at a random location.
Right.
This is that random location."
Right.
Cinnamon sugar fried dough. Yep.
Dude, I am addicted to those. I love them. I want a
I
mini
get
donut maker. It would be a
I
problem.
haven't had them in ages, but I'm thinking about them now, and I really want.
But no, we went walking around and we had a good time. My wife wanted to stop at every single stand, right? So there's like
It's
for people that don't know,
it's 500.
There's
There's 500 stands.
there's 500, maybe 600 tents, right, of each individual
park.
stand.
It's very popular.
And you can get stuck in one for quite some time. So me and my wife
Yeah.
were walking, and she
and
goes,
some are fascinating and beautiful, and other ones are like looks like home
the
crafts.
hackiest.
like, this is a weird hemp lotion that we made in our basement. And I go,
Yeah.
well,
There was a
why does it
gentleman
look
that had a
weird?
booth where he was taking pieces of wood and he was routering them and making these little things where you could like shake it and all this like design would pop up out of the wood and then you could just push them all down.
That's fun.
And so my kids were looking at it, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, here, I'll have you hold this one. Please don't touch that one. And Hadley's like grabbing onto it.
Yeah.
He goes, that one, that's I have that listed for $22,000.
Yeah.
And I go,
I'm sorry, not 2,200, but 22,000.
no, 22,000.
Yeah.
And what is this
It's
again?
a piece of burl, and it's like a city that you can like shake it, and then, like this whole city comes up out of it. It's
Pretty impressive.
fascinating.
It probably
I mean,
took them like 3 years to
Yeah,
make.
yeah.
Probably.
that's a
So I
crazy-
understood it, and Carly and I were like, okay, kids, hands off.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine when I've got the 9 and the 12-year-old, and you've got a 2-year-old.
Well,
that's
you
ready to
explained if
destroy.
anything happens to this while you guys are playing with it, we have to get rid of the trailer. and
No, we
that's
sell the
not gonna be
house,
fun.
is what we sell.
Yeah. So,
You're going to live in the
but
trailer. We're going to sell the house.
My wife,
for
she wanted to
this.
stop at every stand, right?
Yeah.
And I got this. So I have my daughter who's just like struggling to get in my arms.
Yeah.
I'm holding this stroller, right, with like all the stuff in it. And my wife goes, "Ooh, I'm going to go check out this stand." I'm standing on the outside of this stand, doing the motion,
Yeah.
just like, "All right, I got this."
Yeah, she's
child."
crawling
And
around
I
you
go,
like a
"All right,
monkey.
all right, you see anything you like there? Anything cool? And she goes, "Yeah, there's a couple nice things." And I'm like, "All right, what do I do with this child in this place?"
Hang her upside down by her ankle.
my wife will leave, and then she goes, "Oh, another stand." And I go, "Okay, so are we going to every stand or
Stop at every single one like a stepping stone.
What's the plan? Because there's about 500 here, and I'm not prepared, right?
Yeah.
To do this for the whole time. And eventually, we saw enough stands, and eventually we left. But let's just say, I think it's a good time. I think if your kids are old enough, probably a good time. But yeah.
Do you
I
have
don't
a
know. There's-
backpack that you could have carried her in?
So I do have a backpack. I do have like a backpacking backpack I
Yeah.
could have put her in. Here's the thing.
You don't
She'll
think-
she'll see something she likes and she
No.
wants down, right?
Yeah.
And she'll keep yelling down
Until you let her down.
I let her
Yeah.
down. And so so I'll just be walking around and crouched and just hearing down, down, down,
Yeah.
down.
Good
down,
news is
down.
a few months, you'll be able to put her on a leash.
Yeah.
And then you can just heel.
Yeah.
Give her a little snap.
Oh my gosh.
She'll come back to heel, and that'll be
my
great.
gosh.
And then you don't have to worry about
I don't
it.
know if I'll do that. But no, after that, it was we came back to the house, and then I went on a quick motorcycle ride because I haven't gone out in a while, and so that was a good time. And back home, and I think that was pretty much it for the night. Nothing too crazy, but my detailing itch has been killing me. I have to knock out my wife's car. I have to knock out my truck. I have to knock out one of my other cars. And I need to I want to clean up both my motorcycles, but I just haven't had time lately. The days are getting shorter here in Idaho, and the
it's getting dark
evenings
quicker.
are getting darker quicker. So we're not getting that extra light that we usually have. But I
8
need to
o'clock
appreciate
sunset
it while I
last night.
have what I have, because here, December,
Yeah. It's gonna
5
be cold.
o'clock,
Yeah.
darkness,
Yeah.
living in darkness.
No, as soon as work ends here, it's already dark
yeah,
outside.
and it stays dark until 8 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
Not
It's
fun.
weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was my weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, whether you laughed a little bit.
Dino, I was going to say, I did that exact same thing when I got a waffle maker. Carly and I literally made waffles for every meal for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It was crazy.
I'm not a big waffle guy on a waffle maker. We have one, and I'm not a big guy about it. But when's the last time you busted out some, what's that pancake mix? Krusties?
Yeah.
Crusties.
Do you use Krusties?
Yeah, but I also use the Snow Qualmy one. I like the Snow Qualmy.
I've never used Snow
pancake
Qualmy,
better.
Let's go
but
full
when I
Kodiak
start
cake.
It's like
when I
the
start
Lodge.
busting out the Krusties, like I do it
No.
one day in a row. Like one day I go,
Got to do it again.
I got to do it again. That
Yeah.
Krusty's pancake mix is
It's
insane.
bussin'.
And so, because I add
Krusties is more
I
like
add a little bit of sugar to
Yeah,
it,
I
add
do
like
too.
a couple drops of lemon juice to
Oh,
it,
smart idea.
and it's like it's insane. Like it's so good.
Something this simple should be.
And
this
I
good.
go, man, and pancake mix is so cheap.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I could
You
just
always got to
live off
remember
this.
that's all you need to eat is just pancakes
You
all
just
the time.
Keep eating pancakes.
Just
So
sugar fluff, please.
And for those wondering about Augie's mustache, basically, Aug and I went to the grocery store, and then next door to it is a Dollar Tree. We went to the Dollar Tree to get just thumbtacks because we noticed that we were horribly out of thumbtacks after hanging all our Christmas or our Halloween decorations. Excuse
Sure.
me. So I had to re-up. So I said, I'm going to run in, Aug. We're just going to run in, grab them, and out.
Quick.
Like quick and easy. And he's like, oh, well, I wanted to look at this. I said, nope, in and out.
Yeah.
We walk in. I grab the thumbtacks. I go, you ready? He goes, hold on. And I said, nope, I'm getting in line. We go over to the line. He's right next to me. I pay for it. I look down. He's got a whole kit next to him. And he's like, I got this. And I said,
Oh.
no,
you
I got
this?
it. Why don't you throw that up there? And he's like, I was going to pay for it myself. And I said, I got it, bud. And he's like, all right. Sets it up upside down. so I can't see what it is. Gal rings it up, $2.25 or 50 cents, whatever I got to pay her. And we walk out, and I said, "What'd you get?" And he goes, whips it out. It's 10 mustaches, different styles. And he goes, "Thought I'd bust some of these out." And I said, "I like it. I like where your head's at. I like what you're thinking, the way you're kind of thinking there." We got home. He put that mustache on, asked me to do his hair, and then he posed.
Nice.
That's great. Of course, he did the thinker.
Yeah.
You know.
And then Hadley put on a mustache, and then the two of them on that day also went and like rode their bikes around with mustaches on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's hilarious, actually.
Hadley had like a Ron Burgundy mustache
geez,
on.
so like a bushy one. Yeah. I was going to read these last few before we closed up because I did want to make sure we cover these. I think that's probably a good way to do it. Is if we have a few, we'll save them to the end and then we'll kind of address them in a row. But we've got TRC sweatbands from Joey who left a little early. But I was going to point out this is interesting because back when I first kind of helped with us moving over into the garage and doing all that stuff, we discovered some boxes.
You can say it when you first joined the company.
Yes. I don't want to say I started it because I didn't. Yeah. That was Bev and Dale, of course. Yeah. But then when it, as you guys know it, that was my family and I's creation. So that was you guys involved and all that stuff. But one of the things we found when we moved all those boxes over the initial time was a box full of sweatbands or microfiber sweatbands, and it was like,
what a unique technology.
Kind of interesting. It turns out they had been selling them to some like athletic teams who wanted to have like all the same kind of gear and stuff, and they were really cool. But the problem was at the time we just didn't have a good way to sell them. And then eventually we found like one group that was willing to like buy up all our stock, and they used it for like a color run event or something like that. But anyway, they once at one time existed here at TRC. I just want you to know, Joey, that they existed, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen again. I think it's unlikely, but I would never say
Bring
never.
Sweatbands
back. So that's one thing. Now,
we'll have those sweatbands on our arms.
Then I had Crisscross here saying, "I just want to give my thanks to Aaron in customer support. My package was damaged before delivery this weekend, and he took care of me and got everything in order. All of you on the team are amazing." Absolutely agree, Crisscross, and thank you for saying as much. We'll make sure to let Aaron know, and I'm sure he'd appreciate that too. Then I have a actual question here, detailing related. Normally we try not to answer too many of those here on the main TRC podcast, but we'll do this one. I tow my car to the track on an open trailer. What would you recommend for light road dust and or water spots? Waterless with a Dream Maker, or would I get by with Dream or a Bead Maker? I mean, you could go waterless.
Just do waterless and Dream Maker, or mix up some Clean Maker just to have, so you use that as your drying
That's a good move right there. Yeah.
And that works pretty good to just do that.
The Jamie the Clean Maker is a great method.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then Dino noticed that one time I did a live stream showing my process of driving there, and they were all shocked because I prompted nobody. I showed the entire process driving there, and then when I got there, talked into it, they actually said, "Okay, Dana, what else would you like?" And everybody was shocked.
Yep.
Just shocked. Anyway, that was it. And, new season of Suits. I love that show. It felt like the last season kind of ended it, though, so I thought they were done. I watched the season 9 on Amazon when they only did 1 through 8 on Netflix, so I don't know. Maybe you're waiting for 9. Cool. That's it. That's us.
It. Thanks, guys.
Woo. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And if you haven't already, please click the like button before you go. It helps us out, lets people know that people actually enjoy this show. And if you didn't, you can always click the thumbs down, but we hope you click thumbs up. And leave a comment, because you got to let us know what we did right, what we did wrong, or some kind of input you had on one of the things we talked about today. Maybe you've had a similar experience. All right, apart from that, hang out, and we'll catch up with you on Q&A Thursday this Thursday on the same channel. And right after that, I'm sure we'll have another video to drop for you, so stay tuned for whatever comes out this week. Till then, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you later.
See ya.
See ya.